Hello everybody, welcome back for this third and last part of this global online masterclass. I'm sure you all have had a lot of integration going on. We're going to go into a Q&A session right now with Zebulon, who will be here to answer the questions you've sent in.
Many greetings. I am Zebulon. This is the patterning in my heart. My signature is that of the Ish continuum. At the same time, my signature is that of your continuum, and the passion in my heart is my patterning. Ambika.
Hello, Zebulon.
It is wonderful to be here to communicate in this way. Yes, it is a first as far as I'm concerned.
It's beautiful.
So I believe we'll have session of Q&A.
Yes, we do. We have some questions from the people that are listening in.
And you will be guiding me.
I will be guiding you if you want me to.
Wonderful, wonderful. May I just say before we go into these questions that I would like to honor everyone that is part of this class today for their bravery.
Yes.
And their courage for going where you are going, beloved human, is not a path. I won't say it is difficult, but it is not a path that is common to many, at least not yet. And we need pioneers such as the ones who are here in this moment connecting to this class to create this new earth that all of you so like to discuss and talk about. So let us go into some of these questions and we'll see what comes back.
Okay. Let's go into the first question then. That comes from Lina from Portugal.
Oh, very linear of you, Ambika, to go into the first question first. Well, now you are there, so go. It's a good one anyway.
Yeah, she has several questions. The first one is, who built the Matrix?
Well, you did, didn't you?
I think not me for everyone, did I?
Who built the Matrix is a very interesting question. However, considering the topic that we are discussing today, I will not go too much into detail. And what I will do, however, is share with everyone that the matrix, the concept of that which is called a matrix in a hologram, is not a creation of a singular being, nor is it the creation of a larger group of beings. It is the manipulation, however, of a larger group of beings inside of this hologram. When you are here, in a space such as this one that you call reality, it is necessary to have processes and programs running through your creative technique. This is not a bad thing. It is when these things become closed down that something less positive gets created, as has been explained in the course that was today. So who built the Matrix? Not really a valid question. Why was it built is more of the question that needs to be asked here. Because you see, as you look upon this hologram that expands beyond this universe and expands beyond many of the universes that you consider to be real and expands into quantum reality and into quantum dimensional reality, going all the way back to Creator and the original questions, who, why, etc. What? Yes? All of that is an encompassing quality that a hologram can qualify itself for. All right? So looking at that level, you must say that specifically within the 12th quantum dimension that you sit in today, consciousness had gotten to a point where the tide had to move away into a different direction. You could say that from the moment Creator asked the questions and when the Ish continuum, which I'm a part of, was created, and all the other ones that come after, until leading up until the 12th, and now even into the 13th. Yes. But the 12th is the one where consciousness took a turn. Things had been evolving for a long time in a certain vibrational direction, beginning with one vibrational reality in the Ish continuum, the first quantum dimension, moving all the way into 12th vibrational reality here. That is now over. You are not moving into a 13th vibrational reality, you are moving into a tonal quality of life. So, focusing on only this one here, the 12th quantum dimensional reality for a moment. Consciousness had achieved within this reality its zenith. And as it did, yes, options became available for evolution. Yes? That means that within those options also was the option of experiencing the opposite of consciousness, which had not been possible in previous quantum dimension. The opposite of it was created as magnetics was taken away from a group of Achaenaic beings that you know today as the reptilians, together with many others. Yes? But they are the key player in all of this. And consciousness was taken away as their star systems, plural, moved out of the field of the central sun, thereby creating a lack of magnetism, thereby creating a mental status. That became the origin for what you know today as the matrix. But the matrix is based on the qualities of humans as well, qualities that are not good qualities, but possibilities such as greed and things of such nature, negativity and fear and such. So the matrix was not built, it was taken charge of by a group of beings who had fallen outside of consciousness and into what they considered to be a new paradigm of mental entrepreneurism. And that is what beings like myself and beings like beloved Ziona and beings like the one that was here today earlier, Ekara, but also obviously Kwan Yin, have been working on for a very long time. In fact, is it not so that during your break, before I even was here, Ekra was saying that it is quite unusual for this information now, even though it is still at the beginning, to be shared?
Yes, he did.
Indeed. So there you go. The matrix wasn't built. It was the result of a zenith of consciousness that opened up the potential for anything to happen, which it did.
Yeah.
And that is now coming to an end. So if that answers the question.
I'm sure it does.
For this class, I would say that is taking it far enough.
Yeah. Because there are so many layers of truth to anything. Isn't
Millions
it?
and trillions of them.
And then she goes on and she says, in some level or dimension that I can't imagine before we were born, didn't we agree to experiment with and experience the matrix? Because sometimes she says, I don't think we are victims, are we?
Good question, and indeed it is true that there was definitely an agreement to experience the matrix, but then you also must understand that the future in linearity exists here but not in any other places. The place that you would exist in before you were born, let's say, does not know a past or a future. It only knows the all-encompassing moment of self. However, in all of those moments, linearity, when a being like that sort of nature connects to linearity, that linearity could manifest in a variety of different ways. Yes? Again, like I said for the first question.
Yeah.
What happens once you are born, once you are here, is not a given. It is an overview of a variety of things that could happen.
Yeah.
Not necessarily what played out here, because that is dependent on the choices that you make here. So are you victims? No. Not of anyone else, but victims of your own making, victims of your own reality creation, yes.
Of your own choices.
Victims of your own choices, but not of anyone else's.
No.
Because obviously, as I said in the first question, yes, it could be so that a group of mental entrepreneurs could become this collective dominating influence in this quantum dimension, it doesn't necessarily have to mean it manifests. It is the choice of humanity that made that manifest, that actually wanted to go down that road because of the lesser qualities that still exist within them. This is exactly why this technique that has been the topic of this introductory class has been devised, so as to get the lesser qualities removed from the better ones, so that the better ones can make better choices and better creations.
Yeah.
You
Very
see?
clear. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So no, you're not victims except for victims of self.
Yeah. When did the matrix start? Is it the 5th dimension, the 4th, the 6th, the 7th? Because I know that I was trapped and stuck before I was born, she says, and the answer to become free of the matrix is not to die.
Oh no, it is not.
As you say, we are so stuck that we came here millions of times doing always the same.
The matrix doesn't exist anywhere. It doesn't exist in the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, anywhere else but inside of you. It exists in the belief systems of people. It exists in the mind of people. It doesn't exist in the hologram. It is a version of the hologram playing out in a certain way.
Yeah.
Do you see? So it doesn't exist in any other dimension except for your own. So if you were, with the belief systems and everything else you had in place, if you even could go into another reality, then that wouldn't necessarily mean that the matrix would be gone, you see.
No.
Let's see, humans can travel into the 4th dimension, can't they? What they call the astral plane. They can travel there, but it isn't exactly a luxurious holiday over there with this neural net in place. So the matrix exists inside of you. It is a potential of evolution of self. A potential, by the way, which is obviously not going to be successful. That has already been shown. Now, the only thing is cleaning up the mess, basically, that you as a race have gotten yourself stuck in. So, no, to become free of the matrix is not to die, but become free of the matrix is to die to self. To give up, as Ikara has said in the message that was previously delivered, to give up the old life in favor of the new one, to make a choice. Now, in the life of Lena here, beautiful angel, powerful energy, but very much tied into family situations that she has obligations towards, and a whole assortment of things. That is her matrix.
Yeah.
That is the life she has to die to. Not physical death, but ending that. And that is what will start the process of her exiting.
And that is why at this moment, or you have been saying that all along, all of you, that, I mean, we can change it right now. We can raise above it.
That is why we are saying that the dates of 2012 and of all of these things are true, yes, but they are not necessary.
No.
It could happen at any time.
You can choose your 2012 now.
Exactly. That's been always the case.
Yeah. Actually, then she asks, but you kind of went into there already.
I know, but go on anyway.
Yeah, how can I jump out of the matrix in this body? I knew that many did it. You are the proof, Kwan Yin, Adamus, etc. But with the blind eyes, I don't see the door, and I'm becoming very frustrated.
Well, then I hope that today's class has taken some of that frustration away for beloved Lena.
Yeah.
Even the things I have said already in this little answer that I've given to her would take a lot of those things away already.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And of course, the message that has been given by Ekara and the actual introduction that was done by Kwan Yin have a lot of answers in there. Basically, again, blow up the old neural net, create a new neural net, and then the journey truly begins, because then you are no longer stuck in what the matrix has programmed for you, but you have chosen your own exit.
Yes.
You see.
And if you've seen that, if you can do that, then everything opens up.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay, well, thank you from Lena. And thank you,
Lena,
too.
Lena.
Yeah. Then I'll move on to a question from Stergios.
quite a beautiful and empowering name.
Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he asks, will we learn living on Earth with bodies, our bodies, as sovereign beings?
Yes.
In our own strength and force?
Yes.
So we will be able to manifest everything we need in 3D.
Yes.
So we could be able to support and help other people.
Yes.
That was a short answer.
Well, I don't think that was a question. It was more of a statement of what is going to become possible. And this person who is beautiful is obviously showing what he wants to see happen. But I can tell Sturgio's that yes, that is possible. And actually, time that he is speaking of is not so far away. Again, it could happen right now if that was the choice made by his soul at this point in time. But then to see that he, of course, steps into a class like this, which will run for quite some time and be quite intense, that will obviously enable him to experience that.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
And he knows enough with this.
I believe so, because again the entire class spoke for itself. Now it is mostly important to do the things that Ikara spoke of,
true.
And to actually start making these practical experiences happen in your life, and then we can talk again.
Yeah, it's like you're offering us some kind of alchemy, and we just have to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You have, this easily ordered, but it comes in the box, and you still have to put it together.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. They can't do it for us, guys. We've got to do it ourselves. They can guide us and provide us with the tools, but then we still have to do it.
And obviously that is not what Sturgios is saying here.
No.
He's not asking us to do it for him.
No.
But everything he says is true, and that time is coming close. Now, I or anyone else, obviously, towards the next class, is all because I will be teaching more in the next class. I'm just here as a guest answering some questions in the closing of this day right now. But in the next one, I will be more present. We'll be giving more of the technical information regarding all of this, and so will be Adamus and Kuthumi and others. So it will become very exciting. In that time, he will find probably more tools that he needs, but he needs to start with the one that we are now giving.
Yeah, I understand.
And everyone else.
Yeah. Okay, then we're going to a question from Harry. And he says, my question is, being that the mind creates illness, in what way can we discreate the illness, either using the mind or going beyond the mind?
You cannot discreate illness using the mind. You also cannot go beyond the mind, even though it is often said that you can. Yes. Mm-hmm. You can, however, expand beyond the mind so that you encompass the mind, and that is a place in which you will start to notice that it becomes possible to drop all of the things that plague you during the lifetime that you are living within the matrix here. But again, I feel that this question to a great extent has already been answered from everything, taken from everything that has been said here tonight. Obviously, the SAS technique itself and everything it will offer, as Kwan Yin and later on Ikara has taken you through the basics of it. Kwan Yin more on an overview and Ikara more on the level of daily situations. Mm-hmm. Yes, that is where you will find all of these things. Not in the technique itself, but what you will become. Yeah. As the technique takes shape around and inside of you. So that is what I can say about that in this moment.
Well, thank you very much. That were the questions that have come in.
Oh, that is it?
Yes. Maybe I have a question. I think many people out there now are like, okay, so we've got this information, and of course it's clear to everyone that it's going to build and that it's going to be more, let's say, put in chunks so that they can work with it. Mm-hmm. But is it something you can really do with yourself? Because sometimes if I look at the situations we've been talking about, then it's sometimes difficult to see it for yourself. It's like you need the observer.
Yes, hasn't that been communicated as well in the course of...
Yeah, for the Merkaba. But it was also for the whole process. Okay.
Oh yes, it is indeed for the whole process, and don't forget that this is only the beginnings of what we are going to offer with regards to this knowledge. Eventually, other types of interaction that are less talkative and more practical, based on doing things, will be done, and we will create interactions where we will take smaller groups of people, much as Kwan Yin is doing now with her intimate audiences, through actually experiencing the SAS technique, and taking them through their own SAS, if you will. Through the entire daily situation, all the way leading up to life. That is going to be the next step in this whole process, but that will be once this entire sheet that is in front of us right now will have been discussed to the T, and once people will have actually carried out the exercises that that sheet will bring. But at that point, of course, yes, we would move into more of an observial point of view where we can assist from our point of perspective. Is it not so that one of the things that you have had difficulty with here is that when you run through the SAS technique, you come up with an answer, but it turns out to be a false one?
Yeah.
That's happened, yes?
Yes.
And then the ascended teacher comes and does the same thing, and just with a twist to the left and a twist to the right, it's done.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes. But that is what you will learn, as I believe Kwan Yin has said before Ekara came in. Eventually, the point of teaching will be not to only teach you the information and the practice of it, but also teach you how to connect to the space where this information exists, so that you become teachers of it and facilitators. Yes. So all of that is going to happen.
Yeah, that sounds really wonderful, and I'm sure everyone with me is very much looking forward to that. As is this one. And please understand that obviously, since there were only very few questions asked from a rather large audience, we can only assume that people need to process what has been said here tonight. And I'm sure that we will be able to get going, myself, when I come in next time, and when I continue with the teaching that was started here today. And for that, I'm very grateful that this began, and I look very much forward to that unfolding. As do I, and do we all. Yes, and with that being said, I shall waste no more time and allow Kwan Yin's return. My signature is Zebulon, and my patterning is that of the Ish. Good night. Thank you, Zebulon. So we're just going to give Kwan Yin some time to come back. And I'm really sure that all of you are already overwhelmed by the information that has been given. Hi. Hey, hello. Whoa. 2 beings later. 2 beings later. Yeah, I didn't even come back in between, did I? No, you didn't. How is everyone? Oh, we're still on the air. We're still on the air, yes. We are. Okay, so, there's a question that just came in, I see. Well, I'm going to try read it here. From Aura Lee. In the exercise Ikara, explain the process where you would be creating a neural net of opposite experiences of your current reality. Is that accurate? Aura Lee asks. Are you creating a completely new neural net, or are you integrating your old experiences that create your existing neural net into this new one of opposite experiences? Then I understood, she says, once we bring the new neural net up to current age, the same amount of years as our existing one, then it was said that it would collapse. Is that accurate? She asks. Thank you for your clarification, Aura Lee. So I'm just going to go through that, as we close our class here tonight. Sure, but I think it's a very important question. Yes, I think so too. And I think what I like about it is it shows the integration that has already happened for Aura Lee here with the experience of Ikara and everything that we talked about. So I'm just going to answer her questions one by one, all right?
And I'm going to start. Oh. I'm going to start here at the beginning. In the exercise, Akara explained the process where you would be creating a neural net of opposite experiences of your current reality. Is that accurate? Yes. That basically is very accurate. You are creating a neural net of opposite experiences to, not of, but to your current reality. That means if your gender preference was A, it now becomes the opposite of A. That means that if you liked something or didn't like to eat something, you're gonna learn how to. Sorry, I'm not quite back yet.
No,
I just kind of flew into this question.
Yes, I can understand.
Georgie put it through just in the moment of my return.
Yeah, well, what I could say about it, it's like what we have to realize is that all our likes and dislikes are created by the programming, and that's the point. So to now prove to ourselves that from a conscious choice, for instance, we can choose to love porridge, just saying something.
Yes.
That's gonna collapse my mind, the mind.
Basically, yes, because in the years of your mental existence, Ambika.
Oh dear.
Here we go. In the many years of your mental existence, obviously, you've built up likes and dislikes and belief systems and parameters. And the point of creating the new neural net is to turn around those parameters and likes and dislikes and belief systems. So to go to her second question here, are you creating a completely new neural net, or are you integrating your old experience that creates your existing neural net into this new one of opposite experiences? I would say to that, yes, you are creating a completely new neural net. However, and this is the big one, because that becomes very difficult for many people now when they're actually practicing it. You can take conscious things, neutral things, in other words, from your old neural net into your new one, because obviously when you access the new one, you're still going to have the knowledge that the sky is blue, and things like that. But you're not necessarily going to have any charge on it, or it's not going to determine your judgments or things like that. So, for instance, let's say a musician who goes into a new neural net creation could take that music with him or her if they drop anything but the passion for the music itself, rather than what the music could do for them in their personality lives.
And could you also say, I'm just going to ask this, I'm not sure about it, that some of those things, like for instance music or a passion that you have in your personality life, is actually not that much connected to the whole programming? That's something of your soul that kind of flicked through anyway. Could you say that?
You can say that, and in some cases that is true, but then don't forget that when that flicks through from your soul, as you say, that when that happens 36 years in a row, obviously it's going to move into the patterning and everything like that. But whatever is neutral, whatever you don't have any energy on, and you have to be very careful, because everyone is going to say, oh, I don't have energy on that.
I don't have to let go.
Yeah, I don't have energy on that or on that or on that. Yes, you do. You have energy on anything. Anything. It's all about finding the purity of, for instance, something like music or anything else that you would be putting into the new neural net, because that is how you create one of opposite experiences. But the opposite experience thing for Aurélie here is mostly about the pillars, isn't it? The authority identification, the gender identification, the lack identification, all of that stuff, which I guess will be discussed in depth, because that will be what the next class will be about entirely. As we go into discussing attributes and aspects, we must discuss main pillar identification, because that is what will create the archetypes, that is what will create the choice for the grand illusions, etc., etc., etc. But it is especially there that you need to create opposite experiences, which basically means, black goes white. I'm not talking about skin color, but about, your thoughts and what you liked and what you didn't like and what you called your personality.
Yeah.
But again, all of that will be discussed much more in depth as we continue through this course of classes. I don't want to talk too much right now about what is needed and what isn't needed, because there is so much of a chance right now for everyone's mind out there who's still listening to all of this to start playing with what we're saying here. So I would say let's leave it at what we've already said. Let's leave it at, I'm going to answer the rest of the questions, but let's leave it at that level of an answer right now. And I'll keep these questions, and in the second class that we will be doing about this, we will go a bit deeper into that as we will talk about pillars of identification, which is what this is all about. So then Aura Lee goes on. Once we bring the new neural net up to current age, the same amount of years as your existing one, then it was said it would collapse. Is that accurate? Yes, Aura Lee, that is very accurate. It is all about, not so much about linear age, but experiences being had in that linear age. So the old neural net and its amount of experience needs to amount to the new neural net and its amount of experience, basically. So what the new neural net is going to build is going to have to be equal to or more than what the old neural net has experienced.
But even that isn't linear, let's say, in amount of times.
No, it's not an amount of time. No. A totality of experience, not an amount of time.
No.
I think that was made pretty clear at the beginning of the class. But that is very important. And this could all be a bit funny or odd for people, that ascension, and now all of a sudden after all these years they learn that ascension has to do with the brain and neural nets, but it's true. It's true, because if you just look at how reality is created, it's all happening in there. Nothing hardly is happening out here. It's all happening on the inside. Yeah. So she finishes to say, thank you for your clarification. And thank you, Orly. It was nice to answer your questions. So the next one here is from Bonnie.
Yeah. And she asks, besides touching the stars and perhaps the personality exercise Solaris gave us in 2009, what others do you recommend to connect with this process?
Whoa. Got a bit of a cough there, Ambika.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It is December. Your neural net is probably saying that it's time for you to have your
probably
cough.
Probably it is.
So what other recommended exercises? Stop coughing. No, just kidding, just kidding. What other recommended exercises, Bonnie? Everything that has ever been given in any of these channelings as exercises will influence the effectiveness of what you are about to create. But then, Bonnie, don't forget, last year, in I believe it was September, October, you were here in England having an experience with us called the CAC course, the Conscious Ascension course, and a lot of information about neural nets, etc., was already shared there. So take some of the exercises that you were taught to do there, and most especially the practical ones where you go out into society and start reforming yourself. If you even look at some things that are happening on Earth where people are actually creating new neural nets in a way anyway, they don't go beyond their old one, but they do create new ones. For instance, you have transsexuals on this Earth, beautiful beings who are going through these experiences, and one of the most important things for them, because they do go through a gender change.
Yeah, they do.
One of the most important things after the whole psychology is in place is to actually start acting it out in 3D reality, and that is one of the things that the CAC course last year here in Tintagel that Bonnie was present at focused on. And a lot of people who were here back then, basically, Bonnie will know this, there's a bitter few of those people that were here during that seminar that are still calling themselves Imzaia these days, or not just Imzaia, but are actually still believing in the process we are putting forward, because it's simply too difficult. Yeah. It's simply too difficult. People are scared to step out of these old lives. I'm not saying Bonnie was, obviously. She was desperate for it, to jump forward and to...
She is jumping big time.
She's an amazing being.
Yeah.
But, just judging by that class that was given last year, I think a lot of people are bloody scared about a process such as this. But to come back to Bonnie's question, any exercise ever given in the Mastering the Grand Illusion series and anything that surrounds it, basically.
And I think what you just said, like, you're going to express that, and that's something we talked about a little while ago. That was kind of like really an eye-opener to me. Like, it's not just you changing on the inside or changing your expression. It's also others perceiving you different.
Exactly. Because, that's what it's all about. That's going
to enhance your...
because neural nets and mind is telepathic.
Yeah.
So that means that if you go out into 3D reality with this game you're playing, and other people start perceiving you that way, then that will actually make it so much easier for you to begin your process of exiting the matrix. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget. I'm sorry. This is a very scientific and precise process that has been defined millions of years ago by the being known as Ekara, and that has led to my ascension 4,000 years ago, and to Adamus's, and to everyone else's that everyone out there knows.
Yeah.
Even a being like Bashar that has absolutely no direct connection to the 144 energy that all of us, what we used to be called the Council of 12 represents, still went through the same process. It's just how it works, and it is fun. It is fun because you finally take charge of your life again.
And I have to say that that's something that's really becoming clear to me. Like, it really is a step by not really. It's a quantum step-by-step program. But there is alchemy for it, and we just have to go with what is provided. And then, yes, of course, there is moments where it seems like difficult to let go of something, your morning coffee for a while, whatever it is. But actually, is it really? If you look at where we are and how stuck we are and how bored we are, I mean...
And good God, that level that you're talking about now, coffee and stuff, is so narrow and is so much at the beginning. If that word coffee and that type of word and that type of experience, let's say, was part of the ascension process, it actually wouldn't even be inside of the book. It would be in the little pamphlet that precedes the book, on the little commercial or something.
Yeah.
It's so far away. And yet, that is the level that most people have the most difficulty with, which shows you how stuck everyone has become.
If you look at the scope and the grandness of everything.
Exactly. But, just to say, that is what this specific online masterclass, the SAS technique classes that will be given from now on, and this Ascension Codes, the Ascension Codes classes will be all about, to actually give you step-by-step information on how to get out of here, basically. And not just to get out of here, but expand beyond it, so you can have fun in here too.
Become the totality of it.
And if I can suggest anything to anyone who has been listening so far throughout this class, or who will be listening in the time to come, is to just simply follow the step by step. And to actually take the time, after this class will be done shortly, we'll start working on getting it to everyone who has been a part of it. And then it's all about starting to listen to the information again, especially what I said at the beginning and what Ekara said. I know Zebulon was a bit brief, but it was only like an introduction of his energy, or a reintroduction to his energy, so he's going to come back in the coming time, and especially Ekara's exercise, to start practicing that, and to see what happens, because that channeling was a bit different. Some of the things that were said in there were very practical, because throughout the years, obviously many people have said that we are multidimensional beings, etc., but he's kind of given a neural explanation for it, and how actually you are pushed from multidimensionality into linearity. So even though the exercise he gave may seem a bit childish for some people out there, whoever is going to listen to this in the future, I think it is very important to start right at the beginning, right there.
It's like giving your brains the possibility to start to think differently.
Exactly, and very true, Amika. And one thing that is going to be kind of the closing of this class now, because there's more questions coming in. There's people asking questions about light and sun gazing and things like that, but considering that doesn't necessarily immediately involve the SAS technique and everything, we're going to put those questions in the Remembering the Galaxy radio shows. Where the questions can be more specific. What we want to do with these master classes is really stay on topic as much as we can and really focus. So I'm going to say one more thing about all of this as I think it's beginning to be time to start closing this down for today. And that is a cautionary statement that I'm going to make, basically. One of the main things to remember when creating a new neural net is to not feed energy into the old one. Mm-hmm. Because let's talk, for instance, about gender identification. Let's talk about changing your gender appreciation, your gender identity, whether you like men or whether you like women. Obviously, a personality and a neural net will do anything it can to survive, and to keep itself going so that it can lead to the death of the body and a reincarnation of the soul yet again and the lack of ascension for the soul. So it is obviously possible for any old neural net, when it's, for instance, straight, to encompass loving the male form as well, or the other way around. So you must be really careful here that you don't put old experiences into the new creation. That means that if you're, for instance, going to work on gender identification, don't go to your family and say, I'm going gay now or I'm going straight now, because then you've got a whole bunch of neural nets around you. They're going to say, oh, this old personality is now going to add this little subsection of a program to its sexual identification or something like that. And that is not going to do a damn thing. No. Basically what happens then is you're going to get even more stuck, you know. And it's a bit odd for myself and for Ikara earlier to be discussing all of this, because we are now beginning to step into an arena of information that was very, very carefully shared in the past by only a few to only a few. Now we are beginning to come out and share this information with the entire world. So as you go through this process, yes, you're going to make mistakes. It's no problem. We're going to guide you through it. This is an exciting process, ladies and gentlemen, and I really look forward to seeing you all expand. With all of that being said, I think it was an amazing 4 hours, I guess, 4 hours that we spent together.
Yes, I think so too. And I mean, the information that has been given again is just great, and people really can start working with things. I also really want to thank all of you. I know it has been said before, but really listening to this information, really wanting to go there, that shows us who you are, and we want to thank you for that.
If we can get to a state where the entire Earth, I'm not saying everyone on Earth, but enough people start working on basically ending this matrix, you know, for them, inside of themselves, then the principles that we will have to apply will become easier all the time.
You will support each other. I mean, it's going to be so much easier.
Exactly.
Especially if you take with it that the minds are telepathic.
Exactly. So there can only be an expansion from that point. Anyway, we could go on talking, but I think it is time to say good night or say good day, wherever you are on Earth. Please know that it has been a tremendous delight and an honor to have spent this time with you, to have brought Ikara through and Zebulon to share about this information. It's been beautiful for us to be able to do so, and I'm looking forward to the next time.
Yeah, as do I. I mean, for myself, this has been a great class, sitting here and listening to all of it. And again, thank you all for being here, and Well, we'll connect soon.
We love you all. Have a wonderful time wherever you are on Earth, and we will connect to you again soon. Namaste.
Bye-bye. Thank you.